All right, here we are, real quick, and we're looking at this live fight between Robersy Ramirez and Andujar, Yuri Andujar, and Andujar just got stopped in the first round, pretty much a little bit over a minute through that first round. So Robeisy Ramirez, a two-time Olympic gold medalist, has just won this first fight that was on the top ranked card here. So we did discuss the fight card that was here for this day on the live show. So the first bell, of course, we just see here with Robeisy Ramirez, who's now 3-1 with 3 KOs, and handed Yuri Andujar his fourth loss of his professional career. So that is that first bout out of the way, really quick. And we got next up Quatavius Cash from Las Vegas, Nevada, against Kevin Metcalf in a 6-round middleweight bout. So we just have this here with, like I said, Robeisy Ramirez, who is the two-time Olympic gold medalist, did defeat Shakur Stevenson in the gold medal match to basically get his second gold medal. Now with everything that's going on as far as like the protocol, so you have like everybody there except for the boxers with masks on. They're taking out their taking off the gloves and everything like that. You see there with the counter left hand and then another left hand put, put a Yuri Andujar down. And then, after that first knockdown, he used the left hand once again to get Yuri Andujar with the second knockdown on the ropes. And that just, put Andujar down. There and just had him seriously in trouble to the point where they just ended up stopping the bout. So that's kind of like what, is happening there for this particular bout. Like I said, we have next up Quatavius Cash versus Kevin Metcalf. Also on the schedule is Donald Hainsworth versus Guido Vianello. And then Johnny Langston versus Jared, the real Big Baby Anderson. And then for the main event, Felix Caraballo against, of course, the WBO featherweight champion, Shakur Stevenson. That is going to be at 130 pounds. So that is the schedule that we have here, on Top Rank Boxing for this Tuesday card. Of course, we're going to have more to come through Top Rank on Thursday, as they're going to be, very busy with these next couple of weeks. Like I said, you're going to have this card, and you also have card that's coming up on Thursday, headlined by Jesse Magdaleno versus Yennefer Vicente. So that is, the thing that we're looking towards next up, But, with that being said, we just gotta, watch how these other bouts get handled. What's going to be interesting here to see is how they're going to transition from one bout to the next bout. It's not like, you have, anything basically in the way other than maybe the whole thing with the advertisements. So that is something that I want to kind of see with this particular production or broadcast, is how they're going to handle that. The first fight, you pretty much see there was around 7:20 or so. They started this broadcast at 7:00. And with it only being about 5 fights, on this card. I want to see if they will pretty much wrap this up at about maybe 8:30ish or so, or 9, depending on what happens. So that's kind of like what I'm looking at here at this particular point, is if they are going to wrap things up in a fairly short amount of time, given that there isn't really that much going on. So that's kind of like what we're getting here at this particular point. Just seeing here that with Royce Ramirez getting this quick win in the first round within a minute and 5 seconds through that first round, he was able to score the TKO victory. That it kind of puts him in there as far as like they're trying to see if they can match him up with Shakur Stevenson in the pro ranks. Shakur Stevenson has already, like I said, had a good number of bouts already and won a world title, while Royce Ramirez just completed his 4th professional bout. So it's going to be some time before they even make that match. But Shakur Stevenson does want to have that bout here in the pro ranks. So kind of like looking at that in the future, but I'm not sure like where that's going to happen with Shakur Stevenson saying that he's going to potentially move up, and then after that he'll be pretty much on campaigning at 130 pounds. So with him campaigning at 130 pounds, you would have him as the potential guy to fight for the super featherweight championship, right? So just kind of like looking at that here. So right now they're just going through the highlights there with Royce Ramirez. Just seeing here how they're going to conduct the post-fight interviews there with Royce Ramirez. So that's kind of like going to be another little thing that we're going to see, as you don't like see how you have people speaking in the ring. So, all right, looks like they're having this whole thing with social distancing right now. Who is this? Bernardo Osuna with the mic. And Royce Ramirez is pretty much supposedly 6 feet from him, but man, it ain't no goddamn 6 feet, man. I mean, like Osuna could probably put his hand out like, do that, and then end up touching Royce Ramirez. So they just talking like standing on one side and like I said, Osuna on one side and Ramirez on the other side, man. So that's kind of funny how that kind of is handled, so to speak. So that's gonna be. So it looks like that's what we're going to see here in reference to this. What's so funny is, hey, I mean, you don't see Bernardo Osuna there with the mask, so I'm like, man, that's interesting how they're conducting this whole thing. So I think that's one thing that we're going to be seeing here over the next couple of weeks is how they handle these type of interviews. So that's one thing I'm kind of trying to get going here, or so to speak. So I was trying to see if I could maneuver this a little bit so that I can share this out. Be sure to subscribe to the Boxing Source here on YouTube, and thanks for everyone joining in um, to this particular discussion thing. And like I said, man, Rabisi Ramirez there at 3-1 with 3 KOs, having that first round stoppage there and just using the left-handed, kind of take his opponent down here. Um, so I'm going to see if I can invite some more people to talk about this fight card. So I'm just going to add people on here through this, but um, actually what I could do is I could do this and then see about the live discussion for the main event. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this particular thing here for this, this undercard, and then for the main event, we'll try to do something else. So that's kind of like what we're trying to get in this particular thing. So let's see if I can, get things going with that. So yeah, like I said, I'm doing, a few, invites here in this particular instance. But also trying to, maneuver a few things here and there. It looks like something is kind of like not going all too well with this thing. What I want to do is, something else. Yeah, this is pretty much what I wanted to do. Let's see. Yeah, so like I said, we're just seeing here how this whole thing is going on. What is this? I have no idea what this is. I don't know what they're showing. Don't know what that was. Let's see here. So I was gonna try to modify a few things here, but not looking like that's happening here. So I'm trying to figure out what they're going through. What is this? Is that like Jack Johnson there or something like that? And Sugar Ray Robinson. Looks like they're showing Sugar Ray Robinson and all of that. So I'm just trying to see like how they're doing that here with this particular instance of what they're going through with the ESPN thing. It looks like they're doing some type of segment here with great fighters. So they have Tim Bradley and Andre Ward. They're speaking there with Joe Tessitore or whatever it is. So Joe Tessitore is not necessarily completely out of the ESPN announcement circuit. I mean, he's not there for what was it, Monday Night Football with with Booger McFarland, but he's still doing the whole thing with boxing. So right now I think that's what they're discussing here before the next fight that's on the card. They're supposed to have let's say Quatavius Cash there going up against Calvin Metcalf in the middleweight division. So we're just looking at when that is going to happen. Like I said, the first fight was around 7:20 or so, 7:20, 7:23, or something like that. But by the time it was over, that was around 7:25 or 6. By the time that I did get on, that's when you had Rabisi Ramirez already scoring the first knockdown. And then the second knockdown took place when, with that, he was able to get the stoppage win. So that is, what we're looking at right now is just the whole little transition time thing. I think like people are trying to figure out how to do this filler time here with ESPN. This is like the first time that they're doing this, so they got to have like some type of segment for this, this thing between the first fight and the second fight. Then they're gonna do something else for the second fight and the third and fourth, before they lead everything in for the fight between Shakur Stevenson and Felix Caraballo. So, I'm kind of like looking at how that fight is going to take place there. But, for me, like this whole thing as far as like having the first fight and then having filler, then the next fight and more filler and the third fight, like they could have done something here where you could have just said, hey, we had this fight, the fight's over, do everything you need to do in order to clear the ring, have it ready, clean it out, have it, approved and everything. Next fight, boom, let's do it. And after that, same thing. Next fight, boom. Next fight, boom. Like I said, you have 7 o'clock, start at 7 o'clock, all that time, and then you have the first fight, and now you have this. Okay, I think that one thing that should be looked at is how to transition from one fight to the next fight without there being so much time in between those fights. Because if you're able to get, people in and people out, action, boom, knockout, boom, get ready for the next fight. Next fight comes out. They're in action. Whether it's 4 rounds, 6 rounds, 8 rounds, or 10 or 12. Once that thing is done, have like about, what I would say, 10 minutes in between the end of the last fight to the beginning of the first fight. So 10 minutes from the end of the first fight, where everybody that's involved with that fight out of the ring, do everything you need to clear that ring out and get it prepared for the next fight. 10 minutes. That's it, 10 minutes. Like, remember, you had that whole thing going on with the Canelo Kovalev, where they sat there for about 40 minutes plus before that fight took place. That could never happen. I think there was something with Manny Pacquiao as well, where they didn't start the main event until like 25 to 30 minutes after the co-feature bout took place. So I'm saying like, y'all need to keep this thing going. Like, I don't need to see that much filler in between one fight to the next fight. We've already had the first fight happen. First round knockout. Okay, next fight, let's do it. Boom. Like, what do we need to see all this talking for? Like, y'all could have had like a pre-fight show to do all of that. But y'all don't want to do that. Y'all want to have fillers and then have people just sitting there for the next fight. Sitting there for the next fight. Oh, what are they talking about now? Oh, some other topic. Come on. Like, have another fight ready, lined up, and then let's go. Like, after that, you shouldn't really have that many issues, going on to get the next fight going. So what this thing is, kind of like saying is like, here's your opportunity to say, hey, this could be it. This could be our chances to try to get these fights going and get action going without much downtime. And here we are. What has it been? Let's see. That fight ended, 20 15 minutes ago or so, and now the next fight ain't on. So what are they, needing something in order to fill up for the sponsorships and stuff like that? For the advertising dollars, or the crickets or the DraftKings or whatever they got in order to pay in for the commercials. Okay, I get that, but in between time, I mean, y'all got to say, hey, y'all got to restructure it so that y'all could have these fights happening back to back to back to back. Keep the action going. If you can't, get that action going, then we're basically looking at the same type of stuff that we've had over and over and over again. And that's not what, I'm looking for. Like I said, my expectation was to have these fights going back to back to back and end around 8:30. Here we are, it's past 7:45, and we haven't had the second fight yet. Like past 7:45, but we haven't had the second fight yet. And they started the broadcast at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. I'm like, yo, like what's going on with this? I mean, you can't. Here we are. We're everybody's looking. We're like, oh my goodness. Here we are. This is the first fight card that we've had in the U.S. since pretty much around March 7th or so. Like at the part where that's been on TV since March 7th. And all eyes are pretty much on ESPN right now. They had the first fight. Here we are, 7 o'clock. First fight is supposed to be coming up. First fight didn't happen until about 15 or 20 minutes after they started the coverage for boxing. First round knockout. Robeisy Ramirez with a first round knockout. Now here we are. It's almost 7. It was 7:50, approaching 7:50 p.m. Second fight's not here. So I mean, so is this what we're going to be looking at here for the rest of this particular card? I'm telling you this right now. I'm not doing no live thing all the way through if it's going to take this long. I'm not going to do it. No. I wanted to just see about how this is going to work, have the first fight, basically come down, and then see like how quick that they're going to transition from one fight to the next. And, I'm not really, seeing that much coming through there, man. Just thank everybody that's been tuning in live. You can subscribe to the Boxing Source here on YouTube and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we have our latest podcast available now on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor.fm, whatever you use to listen on podcasts. You can look up the Boxing Source and you can listen to our weekly podcast that we have. All right, looks like they're still wiping down everything. They're wiping down the ropes with, I don't know, I guess approved towels or something like that. Like I don't know, man. I don't know how long this is gonna do, man, because I'm saying this is gonna be really, really boring straight up, man. It's gonna be boring straight up, yo, straight up. Because you can't going through this type of transition, man. Like this is another 30 minutes or so. Of course, you had the thing where Michaela Mayer was supposed to be part of this particular card, but Mayer tested positive for COVID-19. So that bout is postponed here to see when Michaela Mayer is going to fully recover from that. And then after that, then they'll have the bout, see if they can schedule the bout for a later date. But I guess for right now, since that bout is taken away and there's nothing and they could have in its place, they could have had some type of filler fight. Like you could still try to have filler fights. Like why not have another 4 rounder, on the on the docket, just in case if something like this happens. Like y'all have something where a fighter gets injured, or you have a quick, like I said, a quick bout that's done, and you have like filler fights during that instance, but can't see if they can have something like that right now. Man, that has to change up a little bit. You know what I mean? So, like I said, the thing with Michaela Mayer not being able to participate in this particular card that was going to be in the co-feature due to her testing positive for COVID-19. That's why we have 5 fights on the card instead of 6. But like I was saying here, I was gonna I plan to do this live for this particular fight card just to see like how they transition in between bouts. But what has it been? Man, it's been like almost 30 minutes. They're treating this almost like a pay-per-view or something. Like, what's going on with this thing here, man? Oh boy, this is like not, this is not a good, not a good look, man. Man, it's not to me, it's not a good look because, this is not, much of what fans may want to see. Like this is an opportunity for, Top Rank to try to get, more fans involved with this thing. So I say that like y'all could do something in order to, get things transitioned better, for fans to kind of like look and say, oh, okay, Robeisy Ramirez just had a knockout, pretty much a quick knockout. Okay, next fight. Let's see. Quatavius Cash versus Calvin Metcalf. Like, this is their opportunity to shine. They don't really get something like this. Like, with most cards, you might not see something of this particular level where Quatavius Cash, Calvin Metcalf, Guido Vianello, Jared Anderson, like, you probably would have seen Jared Anderson later on down the line. But as far as like some of these other fighters, you might not have been able to see them in a regular Top Rank broadcast. So here's their opportunity to be, out there and featured, and they gotta wait and wait and wait and wait. And it's 20 minutes, and it's 30 minutes, and it's 40 minutes. And I'm saying here, like, within 54 seconds of the first round, Robeisy Ramirez beat, Yuri Andujar. Next fight, where is the next fight? Next fight got to be up, ready to go. You don't have to be taking like 30 minutes to clean up this, clean up that, and do this and do that. Because the way that they're acting with this broadcast might not be over until 10 p.m. Now, I'm not really a guy that does UFC. I'm not a guy that watches UFC, but UFC has had multiple fight cards that have happened over the past few weeks. I'll probably, ask someone or whoever's watching now, if they watch any of the UFC telecasts that have happened, like how long did it take for them to go from one bout to the next bout in this particular instance, because that's something that's going to be pointed out in this instance. Like, here we go. Here, what has it been? It's 30 minutes. 30 minutes. And we got this next fight going. So here we go. Ring announcer Mark Schunap there with two. It's supposed to be two ring girls. And got two ring girls standing behind them. But they just there standing. Like, oh man, this is gonna be something, man. So they got two ring girls that just sitting, that's just standing there chilling behind the ring announcer. That ain't in the ring. And here we go. We got Quatavious Cash there, 11-7 KOs fighting Calvin Metcalf. Yo, what kind of this is an interesting looking hairstyle he got, man. Yo, he got a head. Yo, that hairstyle, boy. Hey, so what he got? He got like a little bit of a. I can't do this, man. All right, round one. Tavious Cash against Calvin Metcalf. What does he got? So he got a little balding spot and then some type of ponytail looking joint going down. Who in this here taking pics, man? Yo, man, this is gonna be something, man. And this is a 6-round fight, right? This is a 6-round fight. When you got Calvin there with with the the little hairdo thing going on, and Quatavious Cash there. You know, Cash is kind of like pumping the jab, being fairly active there with his left hand with the left jab. Calvin Metcalf is trying to, get to the inside there, get in close quarters, has a high guard up, and he goes in and then tries to do something on the inside. We'll see how this whole thing goes, man. Was it G Nady there as a referee or something like that? Oh goodness, though. But all right, you got, man. I don't even see like what in the world Calvin Metcalf is doing. Like, there's no sharpness in his punches when they're in a distance. Quatavious Cash there is, a lot sharper with his punches. Pretty much sitting down on him and throwing those punches. While Calvin Metcalf is just, having his high guard up and just, throwing without much emphasis on there while he tries to get to the inside. What in the world does he have on the back of his head? What is Calvin Metcalf? What kind of Oh man. Oh, this is Calvin Metcalf, as he, like I said, Quatavious Cash there, he's really sharp with his punches there, while it seems like Calvin Metcalf is kind of like shooting things out there with his shots, man. So I give Quatavious Cash the advantage here in this first round so far. Just trying to see here. Everybody, they're trying to give different looks. See that Cash is putting a lot of his punches together, while Metcalf is just doing things one at a time here until he tries to get to the inside. He's, like I said, there's not really much behind Calvin Metcalf's punches there. In the end of the first round, like I said, Quatavious Cash with the more sharper punches, more emphasis behind those punches. He got that first round there. So it looks like they're showing, I guess, a couple of fight highlights and this type of thing. What was this? Oh yeah, it got Jared, the real big baby Anderson there. So he's going to be he's going to be shown later in this card. I have to see like how this is going to go. And then, like I said, the main event, Shakur Stevenson there against Felix Caraballo. But I'll probably go live on another, through another method for that fight. So, I think this is that Guido guy or whatnot. So we'll see how he goes. But here we are. It's like a little bit past 8 o'clock. The telecast started at 7 o'clock. Here we are at 8 o'clock. This is the second fight. We're in the second round of the second fight, and it's 8 o'clock. We're seeing, like I said, Metcalf there. Like I said, with some type of hairdo thing going on. I don't know what it is. You said Cash, more precise with his punches. He's just, fighting on his back foot, but kind of like putting a jab in there with his back foot, putting punches together. There's three, 4 punch combinations there from Cortavious Cash. So he's doing really well in reference to putting his punches together, while Calvin is just out there. You might have got busted up there a little bit. I'm trying to see here. I thought it saw some blood that was on Calvin Metcalf. So not seeing the thing here on camera and whatnot. All right, what happened there? He dropped his mouthpiece. Yeah, he dropped his mouthpiece. So Calvin Metcalf dropped his mouthpiece. I can't see it. Yep, he is bloodied up. This might not be a good look there for Calvin Metcalf there, because he's like bleeding around the nose area. Might be from a cut around the eye. Yeah, it's looking kind of bad there. But he's buddy. This thing is gonna be stopped pretty soon. You know what I mean? We're gonna see how long they're gonna do things here with these cuts, especially now in this particular time. How they're gonna handle things. So, Cortavious Cash, like I said, he's like sitting in the pocket a lot with his shots. Very sharp with his shots as far as like his his punch technique and things like that. So kind of like seeing that going down. 3-punch combos going down low, then up high. Fighting in close quarters. Yeah, see, there's nothing behind Metcalf's punches, nothing. But with Cortavious Cash, he's putting some emphasis on those punches. So Calvin Metcalf is, still trying to, come forward, but, with nothing to kind of like have Cortavious Cash respect him with. Cash can just, sit there and do his thing there while, Metcalf is taking the punishment, so let's see here. It looks like it's going towards the end of the round, maybe. Yep. End of the round right there. Yeah, man, he ain't looking good at all, buddy. He got like a whole cut. It's like right pretty much, at this particular part of his eyebrow. So it's not going to be a good look for him. We'll see like how these doctors kind of like treat those things there for the cuts. So that's one thing I'm gonna basically focus on there with that is how they treat cuts. So here we are. We're going into the third round here, the second fight. But around like 8. What is it? Like around 8:06. Going to the third round of the second fight. After this, we'll probably take a little break, so to speak. Jeez, they already started the third round. Like, how did that work? Man, so it was about 15 seconds of that third round, and then already started. like yo. All right. Like I said, Quatavius Cash there, and oh, it was from a headbutt, man. Oh, so the cut came from a clash of heads. I'm gonna see how that's gonna work out in this particular bout. Um, but like I said, man, you got Quatavius Cash there, looking fairly sharp and whatnot. I think there's like one fighter that may be in attendance around here in the ballroom. Is this in a ballroom, convention center ballroom or something like that? Um, they may be giving some updates as far as what's going on in there. I think the WBO super featherweight champion Jamel Herring may be in attendance there in this area. So um, that may be something to check out here while the fights are going on. But Quatavius Cash, like I said, being very sharp with his punches, focusing on where Calvin Metcalf is, and with him, kind of like focusing on that, he's able to, hit his target a lot better. So what's happening there? Not another time that Metcalf done dropped this mouthpiece again, man. Like, come on, man. Like, yo, you gotta be better with the mouthpiece. You gotta be able to control that mouthpiece there, man. But uh Metcalf is, like I said, there's nothing behind his punches there. So he's way behind in this fight. To me, way behind with this about 2 rounds. But Quatavius Cash has been very good in this particular bout, landing the shots that he needs to land, with the emphasis behind the punches that he's throwing, sitting on those punches, whether he's coming forward or going back, he's throwing a lot of combinations there. So you see it, he's like putting everything in it. It's like using the waist and the torso, for his hooks and things like that. So while you don't really see that from Calvin Metcalf is just throwing with the arms. But with Quatavius Cash, he's kind of short, using things and using his upper body with a good base in order to throw those punches. You know what I mean? So that's what we got now. See another Saturday card for UFC. Let's see, what is it gonna be? Was it I versus Calvillo? Well, if you're a fan of UFC, you got Saturday night card going down. So that's what's happening. We're going to have the fourth round coming up here between Quatavius Cash and Calvin Metcalf, and then after that, we're going to see about putting this on the side a little bit for those two other fights. You could go on to Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter. We're going to be putting in updates on Twitter. And then after that, we'll see about doing a post-fight, post-fight analysis on here. It just depends on what happens as far as after this particular fight card. So I'm kind of like looking into that. I haven't seen any type of updates here for at least the first fight. I haven't seen anything. So we'll see here how that happens. Like I said, here we are, fourth round. Quatavius Cash, like I said, still executing very well, landing pretty much all of his punches. The cut that was, caused by the headbutt, still, fairly visible on Calvin Metcalf. So that is one thing that's going to be a concern here for the remaining rounds of this particular fight. For Calvin Metcalf's sake, I think they may put a put a pause to this fight due to the cut, because he's not really winning the fight. Um, Nowhere near winning the fight, and like Cortavious Cash is just doing his thing ever since the first round. So unless if Calvin Metcalf is able to change his punch style or whatever it is and try to throw a a haymaker and land it. Laymaker. Oh well, he threw an uppercut right there, but that uppercut ain't do nothing. Um, he needs a lot to get back in this fight. Having a fight in close quarters, maybe his best chance, I guess. But even with that, like I said, he throws a lot of arm punches. So, even with those, the activity on the inside, the arm punches ain't really doing much to affect Octavius Cash. So here, I'm just seeing Cash being able to take the punches from Calvin Metcalf and still throw with his emphasis behind the punches there. So you got Cortavious Cash. I think he's going to be able to get this win here. He's pretty much like well on his way to getting a win here. I think he's looking to get some rounds in with this. Oh man, he could like Metcalf opened himself up for a right hand counter, and if Cortavious Cash had like a right hand for a counter, he would have been able to catch him and go, blah! That would have been it. I've already talked about his haircut, son. I've already talked about Calvin Metcalf's haircut. Let me tell you something. They look like, what is it like? George Jefferson. Sitting in the front. It's like George Jefferson in the front. And the mullet in the back. He ain't gonna allow me. He ain't gonna allow me to Calvin Metcalf got like George Jefferson in the front and the mullet in the back. Son, like, why would you, how do you prove something like that, Like, what, like, all my life, I'll never have no style like that. All my life, I won't have that, man. Like, he got like he got like a Keith Urban ponytail. Son. It's the last one, dog. George Jefferson in the front. They can't. Oh God, what I'm saying? Oh God. I don't know if I can do these live videos like this, man. Real talk. And you're gonna be having these fights. Don't be going in there with these type of haircuts, man. Like, I'm saying? Oh man, Octavius Casson hit him with a serious right hand, man. I don't know how they ain't stopping this fight, because that cut is like getting worse, boy. Like real bad, man. Like his whole side is red, man. His whole side is red. Oh man, that's Matt, man. like I said, man, the dude, George Jefferson in the top and Keith Thurman in the back, son. Like, yo, oh my goodness, man. Oh, oh my God. Oh man. All right, round five. Yo, and he's, Calvin Metcalf, trying to throw some body punches. Like I said, every single punch from Calvin Metcalf has been an arm punch. Been an arm punch, man. And Quatavius Cash, puts like enough emphasis on behind his punches. So he's damaging Calvin Metcalf, man. And it's gonna be close to the end of the round. Yep, end of the round now. Quatavius Cash has pretty much swept every single round so far. Man, Matt, I'm telling you, son, that yo, ponytail, son, yo, I can't do this. I cannot do this, yo. I can't do it. Yo, I'm telling you, son, that thing looks like yo, yo, son, I'm telling you, son, yo, this thing said, oh man, I can't do it, man. Last round, man. Last round, man. Man. Oh boy. Like I said, I was gonna try to do the whole card, but man, listen, yo, this whole thing with the coverage of this thing, man, it's like I said, it changes. Oh, now they're gonna try to do something about the cut, man. Yo, no, the thing is like right on that eyelid, man. And he's like, nope, they didn't stop it. He's like, okay. It's like, now they stopped it within 35 seconds of the sixth round. They stopped the bout. It was, due to, head clash of heads there, but everything handle this thing here, I guess, fairly well, man. So I guess what they're gonna do with this clash of heads, man. Like I said, it's like blah, like Contavious Cash, and then like went in with his head and hit that eye, man. But yo, man. But yeah, once that cut formed, and then it was like at that portion of the eye where it's just like, so you see like what's that stitch right there, cut man stitch, and you got the mask on. Everybody else got those masks on, man. But, yo, oh boy, yeah, man. Like, but yeah, that's a Keith Thurman ponytail right there, man. That's the guy. Like a Keith Thurman type ponytail on the joint, man. But what in the like he done cut this part of his head, man. Like, yo, like, oh my goodness, man. Like, yo. Yeah. But here we are, man, and this excuse me, it's going towards 8:30, man. This is the second fight. And pretty much went, all 6 rounds. Man, like I want to know, like I said, I want to know though, with those UFC cards, did it take them about 20 to 30 minutes in between those fights? Fighter IQ, what's up, man? What's up? Yeah, boxing is back, but the way that they're handling this thing, man, I don't know. You know, we had the first fight when I had the first fight at around 7:20 p.m. Eastern time, around 7:20 or 7:21 p.m. Eastern time. You know, dang man. So YSM Sports Media ducking that Call of Duty smoke, man. Like how you gonna duck that? He don't duck that, son. Don't duck me, son. Don't duck me, son. So they showing the thing there in the closed area with what is it, Adam Lopez there. So yeah, so how they doing this thing? You got Stitch over there, you know, walking on one side, walking on the other side. You know what I mean? But yo, y'all missed it, man, cause yo, this dude, man, like how you gonna come out to the ring in a hairstyle that's half George Jefferson and half Keith Thurman, son? How you gonna have a hairstyle that's half George Jefferson and half Keith Thurman, son? Yo, somebody answer that for me. Yo, he should have that should have been it right there, man. Stoppage win there for Quantavious Cash there of Las Vegas there. So, he, gets in the win column. He had like a little run, unbeaten streak, and then he lost like 2 of the last 3 fights there. So, YSM, shout out to YSM Sports Media, shout out to Fighter IQ there. YSM, I'm gonna get at you there for after this particular fight card. But this right here, man, like I've been on for pretty much an hour, and it's just 2 fights. I can't, I can't like really do it for all 5 of these things. I might be back for the main event. And then after that, we'll see about, joining in for the post-fight commentary there. So I'll pretty much be there with YSM Sports Media to talk about, this fight card and the main event here. So that's, what I'm, looking for in this instance. But, we just saw, like I said, Quantavious Cash being able to get this stoppage win in the 6th round there over your boy Calvin Metcalf with the haircut, man. Like you seen like how they conducted the interview for Rubesi Ramirez. So you're gonna see the same thing there with Quantavious Cash. But for me, man, like I said, this is like pretty much 1 hour or so live. So what I'll do, man, is I'll take a little bit of a break here. So this is gonna be, kind of like titled the, undercard, live undercard coverage for Stevenson-Caraballo. And then we're going to see about doing something for the actual main event. And then we're going to have the post-fight commentary through StreamYard. So y'all look out for that. But for me, it would be like 8:30. I'm hungry, man. Bump this, man. I'm hungry. I'm not going to, step out and, get some food and then be on the video, be eating food. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get some food and then we're gonna be watching the other fights. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And then, like I said, we'll be back here on YouTube for the main event. And then see if I get with YSM to do a post-fight commentary there. So That's how I'm going to handle it. Like I said, it's been an hour. And I'll catch y'all later tonight. Hopefully, it's not going to be too late, man, because it looks like the way that they're handling this thing, that it ain't going to be over until about 10 p.m. So we shall see. Until later, peace.